Chapter 5. Pieces that piece my mind. Ha, man! Happy 13th birthday! He clapped me on the shoulder, giving me a tight hug. I stood outside his doorway, looking between my mom and dad. Go on, honey. You can go. She ushered me inside, eager to have a chat with Sean's parents. She gave me a small pat and kiss on the head. Sean took that cue to, quite literally, pull me inside by the arm. We closed the front door, running upstairs to his room. I like that I get to spend most of the day off from dance and inside someone else's house. It felt somewhat surreal to me, this sort of freedom from what I do every day. Upon entering Sean's room, I jumped on his bed in a sort of childlike way. Sean closed the door, somewhat tackling on top of me. He was a cool guy. I could get all tough with him, both of us wrestling each other in games until we exhausted each other. Our favorite games growing up together from age 10 were when we would imagine we were Vikings or pirates crossing over dangerous seas just to get a landmark or treasure. I remember quite well how we used to get so into it that we would often forget that we were at home, knocking over various items. There would be a thud, both of us looking at each other with wide eyes. After examining the object to make sure it didn't break, we would put it back where it belonged, silently creeping away from the area, then snickering under our breaths. On the other hand, Shauna had been a great person to rely on. I could tell him anything, and he could also. As a boy, raised in a secluded society of my town, turning to someone for comfort was somewhat frowned upon, and most times, nearly impossible. No one wants to hear what a boy wants to say. Even if you are a girl, it's also rare, but at least people would give you more attention. I'm glad I was born into a family with the kind personalities of my mother and father. They, unlike the rest, were willing and open to listen to almost anything I had to say. I was their only child, and they swore that they would take good care of me for the rest of my life. I grew to trust their words. Every action that they made, either minor or major, showed just how much I meant to them. So to say that I was surprised when Sean's family was the same as mine would be an understatement. At first, I was in total shock. My family weren't the only aliens of the area. There were other Martians in town. I could tell that Sean sensed my agitation at first when we had just met, so he took it upon himself to make me feel safe. Through him, I was able to express myself more, find my hobbies, and silent obsessions that even my parents don't know about. I don't think I would have had the slightest bit of courage to come out to my family as gay if it wasn't for him. He radiated this, je ne sais quoi, this vibrance that pulled me in, these warm hands that were always big enough to hug any ferocious creature to calm them down. As I sat on his bed now, for the first time as a 13-year-old, I had silently reflected on all our memories together. Sean snapped me out of my thoughts when he finally quit tackling me, lending out a hand to pull me up. Hey man, got a little spacey for a second. Oh, really? I took his hand, sitting hunched, legs crossed. Sorry, just kinda reminiscent of the past, huh? I was a lad too the day I turned 13. I looked at him. Had he been reading my mind? Wait, you turned 13 like only a week ago. You can't have possibly gone through the same existential thoughts as me. He put a hand over his chest, playfully looking distraught. Oh, I'm offended. Ow, after 3 years? You still barely know me. Oh, please, cut the act. I slapped his arm, laughing at the way he spoke. So, does your mom know about... That question caught me for a loop. Sean stopped talking, pursing his lips, and tilting his head down. Sorry, I just... It's not that I don't want her to know. Listen, she already accepted that I'm gay, and I really don't know how she is taking that. We both know how she is. Sean quietly nodded, understanding what I meant. Yes, I do want her to know about my middle school crush and how he kissed me behind the bleachers, missed the game on Saturday. But I just have to wait. I'll tell her maybe in a couple of weeks. Sean lifted his hands a bit in a caught me gesture. No, yeah, totally, I get that. It's just, you know he can have that shoes forever. I know. My voice drifted off a bit, anxious to change the subject. Say, Sean, have you managed to complete that Lego botanical collection yet? The rose bouquet looks quite cool on your shelf. It just looks a bit lonely. I couldn't read his thoughts, but I read his expression. He knew I was simply shifting the topic just to get away from the negativity. I knew that if we linger on the previous topic for any longer, I will make myself sick. Become a vegetative state of being, silently enduring pain from a needle constantly poking me in my chest that I couldn't remove. We talked about our hyperfixations for what seemed like days, ending up eventually exhausted. The light outside slowly started fading, the moon rising up into the sky, decorated by the stars, flickering and twinkling from time to time. We ended up laying across from each other, just staring silently at each other's eyes. I stared at Sean with nothing but gratefulness. I loved the fact that there was this amazing person that could, with most sincere purity, listen to my rambles and reflect back that energy. As I looked at Sean, I felt this energy between us, more just the one that remained inside him. The specific way he looked at me then, I still think about it to this day. His eyes drifting all over my face, lips quivering, barely noticeably, him brushing back his hair when he laid there. He opened his mouth to say something a few times, eventually giving up on that, turning his back to me. "Good night, Ellen," he mumbled. "All right then. Good night," I replied enthusiastically at the time, not truly realizing what Sean felt for me then. I shut my eyes with a smile on my face. What a good friend Sean was to me. I never paid him back for his kindness.